Godzilla Final Wars. Welcome to the last day of Godzillathon, and this one's a blast. All I can say is, wow. Toho really ended the series right. It was the 50th anniversary of Godzilla, and it was time to give him another rest. So basically, they just decided to go totally insane with this movie. For the most part, it's like a remake of Destroy All Monsters. Back then, that was a big deal to see so many of their famous monsters thrown together into one movie. But since there's been so many new monsters that fans have always suggested a remake, but to round up all the monsters to date. Well, it wasn't all the monsters, but it was a ton of them. It wasn't the ultimate Royal Rumble that we always hoped for, but it was satisfying. To describe the plot would be like trying to explain quantum physics in 5 minutes. But basically, monsters appear all over the world. Anguirus attacks Shanghai, King Caesar attacks Okinawa, Kamacuras attacks Paris, the American Godzilla attacks Sydney, Australia, the Spider attacks Arizona, and Rodan attacks New York City. By the way, according to Toho, this is what goes on in New York City.
Yo, what's up? Oh, come on, put the gun down. No, see, it's too late for that. This here and a hand cannon. I'll blow your ass all the way back to Jersey. Great! Go for it!
Yeah, guess that's about right. Also, Godzilla's son is discovered on Mount Fuji, but this never really amounts to much. It just sort of becomes a subplot. The smog monster also makes an appearance, but it's really brief. I still can't believe that they even include King Caesar. It seems they went out of their way to dig up any obscure villain from the Godzilla universe, but the only thing missing is Jet Jaguar. Even the sea monster Ebra makes an appearance. Mutant soldiers engage the monster on foot and actually take him down with handheld weapons. Pretty crazy. The mutant soldiers are able to jump around, sort of like a cross between The Matrix and a Kung Fu Wu-Tang movie. There's a lot of action scenes involving the humans fighting, and it's great. The first time I saw this, I was really taken back because I watch a Godzilla movie to see monsters fighting, not people. But now, I think it's pretty awesome because usually in a Godzilla movie, you get scenes where monsters are fighting and scenes where people are talking. So, the trade-in is that instead, you get scenes with monsters fighting and scenes with people fighting. So, it's all fighting, you can't go wrong. Of course, there's aliens involved. They come down in a spaceship that looks like Epcot's giant golf ball. They basically turn all the monsters loose to destroy the world. Resistance is futile? Like in Star Trek?
Resistance is futile.
They bring out Gigan, probably one of the greatest of Godzilla's enemies, and he hasn't been seen since the first series. So, the humans free Godzilla from the ice to fight the monsters. So, Godzilla's going around blasting the fuck out of the other monsters, almost like the killer in a slasher flick. Just walking around nice and slow, butchering everybody in his path. Nobody even hurts Godzilla, he's fucking invincible. Just one by one, bam, just taking them all out. He just destroys everything, and that's what we fucking like. There's also a team led by this guy with a mustache who reminds me of Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe. He's a tough motherfucker. The whole thing is just crazy. I can't even do it justice. There's a scene with a swarm of alien ships going to battle like Star Wars. A pilot has to fly to the center of the mothership and take down the shields. There's kung fu fighting and monsters battling. It's all happening at the same time. A meteor comes down to Earth, revealing itself as Monster X. Yeah, the first new monster in a while, but maybe not. Anyway, the aliens repair Gigan, now with new weapons, and they send him to join the battle. But then Mothra shows up to help, and in the middle of all this, there's still all that kung fu shit going on. So Mothra gets killed, Gigan gets killed, and then it's just Godzilla against Monster X. But wait. Oh, here it comes. Oh yeah, it's Ghidorah. And how fitting is it that the last Godzilla movie puts him up against his most classic adversary? If you're willing to let reality fly out the window and just sit back and enjoy a wild flick, then give this one a watch because it kicks ass. However, I do feel that the only problem with this movie is that it does leave you wishing for a little more focus on Godzilla rather than all the shit going on around him. Yet it is entertaining as hell, so think of it as Godzilla on crack. Now, instead of killing Godzilla this time, they just let him swim off into the ocean with his son. This pretty much tells us that they're just taking a rest, and sometime they will return. Now, what's for the future of Godzilla? Well, we know for a fact that the giant monster movie genre is still going strong. Cloverfield took the idea and it did something a little different with it. This time, focusing more on the people rather than the monsters. It's also neat for us Western audiences to see a monster attack more recognizable places like New York City. This was a full 10 years after the American Godzilla attacked New York City. Now it seems Toho is already starting to bring Godzilla back. He just made a cameo in the film Always Sunset on 3rd Street 2. It's only a short dream scene, but like in Cloverfield, it focuses on the people more. Godzilla's only seen for a brief moment, and he's all CG. But it was pretty well done, and it was great to see him make a comeback so soon. And a new 40-minute Godzilla movie in 3D and IMAX is slated for release in 2009. It's only a step away, and my guess is that it won't be too much longer before Godzilla makes a full comeback. I hope he fights King Kong again, or Gamera. That would be awesome. Godzilla vs. King Kong vs. Gamera would have the fans line up around the globe. So, that's it. Godzillathon is finally over.
No more! I'm sick of Godzilla!
I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. If you're interested in seeing any of these movies but don't know where to begin, you'll have to judge for yourself, but I can at least give you my own recommendations. Here's my own top 10. Number 10, Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster. Number 9, Godzilla vs. Destroyer! Number 8, Godzilla Tokyo SOS. Number 7, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, the original. Number 6, King Kong vs. Godzilla. Number 5, Godzilla vs. Mothra, the original. Number 4, Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Number 3, Godzilla Final Wars. Number 2, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. Number 1, Godzilla, the original. That's it for this year's Cinemassacre's Monster Madness. Maybe next time I'll do more horror films because there's plenty that I didn't get to last year. So thanks for watching. See you next time.